how's it going? My name is Lauren May and welcome to this video. As you can see by the title, this video is going to be things we all do when we have a crush. This video comes from personal experience and friends I know. I can't say that guys do these things because I'm not a guy, but I assume a lot of people do them, and so this is just going to be a little bit of a funny-ish, hopefully, kind of video, and I hope you can relate or you find it entertaining. And if you do, remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe and leave a comment down below telling me something that you do when you have a crush. This list isn't in any particular order, just so you could know, because it's a bit all over the place in what order these things happen, but it's just a list I can brought up, made up, found out, like I said, from experience or whatever. So yeah, it's just in no particular order. Let's get into the video. The first thing that I have on my list is when you've decided that you have a crush, add them on Facebook. Now, this might not be the first step exactly. You might stalk them on Facebook first and then add them. It really depends on how you know them, depending on which order you do them. But if you've met them in person and you actually have some sort of relationship with them, you add them on Facebook first and then you go through all their photos and all their posts and who they know and all of that kind of stuff, just to figure out who they are so that you can figure out how to talk to them, I guess, is the way to go. So there's the first two kind of in one. You add them on Facebook and then you stalk them on Facebook, or you stalk them on Facebook and then you add them on Facebook. You've added them on Facebook and it's been like a few hours or a few days or whatever, and you kind of want to talk to them through Messenger or whatever, or even face to face, and you're like preparing yourself what to say. It's like, do I go hey or hi or how's it going or what's up dude? Like, you know, you you prepare yourself for how the situation's gonna roll out, and you totally like plan out the whole first conversation even though you have no idea how it's gonna go. The next part is when you actually start talking to them, whether it be on Facebook or Messenger or text or whatever. You start asking the questions to answers you already know because you've stalked them on Facebook. So like where they went to school, or how many siblings they have, what they do in their spare time, like all of that kind of stuff. Even though you already know, you kind of have to ask them so that it's like you're getting to know them for the first time, if that makes any sense. The next thing I have is once you're talking to them or whatever, you start overthinking everything they say. It's just like, they said hey how's it going with a winky face, like does that mean he likes me? Does that mean he wants to like hang out? Like you start over analyzing and all of that kind of stuff, and it just drives you insane. And with that, because you're psychoanalyzing everything he says and does, you're restless because you're not sure what to do, because you're not sure where he's at or she, and so it's just this like uneasy and like, do I text him first? Do I wait for him to text me? Like it's all this kind of like restlessness that happens when you have a crush. The next thing that I have is that you stay up to, so you're like lying in bed and you're thinking about the conversation you last had, or thinking about the things that you did together recently, and you're just overthinking and of the good things, the bad things, the what you could improve on, and it's just constantly on your mind, playing it rewind in your head, because that's just what you do. Another thing I have here is that you get jealous at anyone they talk to of the same gender as you or not. So like if he's talking to the girl over there, it's just like, oh, I wonder if he likes her. Does she like him? Are they flirting together? Am I in trouble here? Do I need to intervene? All of that kind of psychoanalyzing kind of thing. One thing I know that I did when I had a crush when I was a bit younger, I mean I probably still do it but not as much, is that when you're talking in public about your crush with your friends, you use code names. So I know I had this crush back in high school and I used Fish as the code name. So whenever we started talking about Fish, that was my crush's name, and so we could randomly be talking about, so did you talk to Fish lately, or like some random thing like that, so that people around you don't know who you're talking about, but you know, like it's just this kind of like code name kind of secret subject matter. I don't know, so many girls do it, like it's a common thing. I'm not sure if guys do it, they probably don't, but that's the thing that I know I've done before, is code name your crush. So you're texting or Facebook messaging or whatever your crush, and you literally stare at your phone waiting for them to reply. You can do nothing for the whole night just waiting for them to reply. You might just lay in bed, or you might watch a TV show, but you've got your phone on loud right next to you and you keep pushing the button, making sure that there's no notifications. It is completely and utterly you focusing on when they're going to reply next. And along with that is Facebook was horrible in inventing the scene icon that comes up when people have seen your message. I get so frustrated with anyone everyone, but especially the crush that I have or had, is that you send a message and then they see it and then they don't reply until like 3 days later. And it's like, dude, you could have replied when you saw it. Like, common courtesy, people. It's stressing me out. Like, I don't know if what this is. Oh, so stressed. Anyway, so that's another thing that I know that people do, is they stress over the seen icon on Facebook as well as people not replying. After the initial Facebook and Instagram stalk that you do when you're still trying to figure out who this person is, you kind of like sitting there kind of bored. You go through Facebook and you're like, I'm gonna go through their profile, gonna look at their pictures, look at their Instagram, and it's kind of out of boredom. You're just like, I got nothing else to do, let's stare at the nice person that I like. You know, it's just that thing where it's like, I'm bored, I'm gonna stare. I know sometimes it's happened before, not with me but with other people I know, is that when you're trying to talk to them and get to know your crush, you kind of imply that you kind of have the same interests. I know there's a scene in 27 Dresses where her sister's having an engagement party and they're just like, he likes outdoors and so does she, and a picture of him climbing a mountain comes up and then her tanning by the pool comes up. I don't know, that just reminded me of that. But like, I know that when you have a crush, lots of people try and, you know, sneak in the same sort of interests even though they might not have exactly the same kind of thing. So like I just said, if they say they like rock climbing or outdoors or camping, you may like going on holiday, so you say that you like the kind of same sort of stuff. And I do know for sure that I've done this, is like when you first have your crush and you're telling your friends about it and they don't particularly know who he is, and you're going through the Facebook and they're just like, oh hey, can I see a picture, like see how cute he is or she is or whatever, and you're just like, oh, or their Facebook pictures aren't that great, like let me just scroll through and see if I can find a good one, like don't judge me, it's not that bad, these pictures just don't do him justice, or something like that. And I know that you go through all of his pictures just to pick the best one to show your friends, because you know not everybody puts great pictures on Facebook and Instagram, like sometimes they're just of you drunk at a party or whatever, so you don't show those ones, you show the really good ones, just to, I can't remember the word, but anyway, just to prove your point basically, that he's really hot and that you like him. And so yeah, that's my list of things that we all do, or at least know I've done some of them when we have a crush. I hope you like this video, and remember, don't forget to hug someone today. Bye!